Hello everyone, this is Sister Garver. I wanted to go over the week 3 assignments. So I have up here the week 3 module. So I've mentioned a couple other places in the course that there are some weeks where you will have more than one journal assignment, and week 3 is one of those weeks. You will have 2 required journal assignments, and each one has a choice of 2 different topics. So you have this first journal, Practice Personal Responsibility or Creator Language, or here journal 6 or 7, the wise choice process or disputing the inner critic and inner defender. So you have to do both journal assignments, but you have a choice of topics for each journal assignment. If you choose to do both topics, you can earn 5 extra credit points for each of the journal assignments. So if you do both topics here, you will receive 5 extra credit points for that. If you do both topics here, you'll receive 5 extra credit points for that. So you actually have the opportunity to earn up to 10 points of extra credit from the journal assignments this week. So just so you're aware of that. I wanted to go over these just a little bit here in the Google Workbook. So the personal responsibility journal entry is fairly self-explanatory, so I won't go over that in detail. Practicing creator language can be just a little bit more confusing if that's one of the ones that you choose. So the key to creator language is that you are talking about an action that you can take in order to solve your problem. So over here, the victim language is talking about, finding blame or finding excuses, whereas creator language is what I'm going to do about it. So for example, here where they're talking about parking, creator language always includes some kind of an action that you plan to take. So if you can't ask questions in class, you're going to go ask the instructor questions in their office hours. So that's just a little hint there for your creator language. This should always be an action in order to really be creator language. Really quickly, the wise choice process. Your responses to these questions might vary a little bit depending on how much detail it takes to describe the situation accurately. 1 to 2 good sentences could be enough. You might have as much as a paragraph. Just kind of what you feel describes the situation well enough. And you will go through the wise choice process of describing your situation and coming up with some potential solutions and then committing to one of those solutions. So this is just kind of the wise choice process. You'll notice it's exactly what you're doing each week for the academic skill plan. So it's just kind of some more practice with that, with making wise choices. For the disputing the inner critic and the inner defender, this one can sometimes be a little bit confusing. You'll basically identify some kind of a recent problem, and then you will write as if you're listening to your inner critic, and then you'll dispute those statements. So right here, for example, where if you did poorly on an assignment and your inner critic says, oh, well, it's just because you're lazy. Well, then you can change that statement in your head to say, it's not that I'm lazy, I just need to learn to manage my time better, or I need to gain some more skills. It's not that I'm bad at this. So this is learning to challenge those critical thoughts that automatically come into your mind. So remember that the inner critic thoughts are ones that are saying negative things about you. The inner defender statements are ones that are saying negative statements about others, or placing blame on others. So for example, you're saying, I failed the test because the math instructor is bad. That would be an example of an inner defender statement. It's blaming some outside force or another person for the situation. And then the inner guide is always going to take responsibility and choose an action. So that's going to help you with your inner guide and inner critic and inner defender assignment. Okay, so that's the journals for this week. You're going to have your quiz over the chapter. Do make sure to read the chapter. Remember that you can use your chapter, you can use your book, and you can use your notes for that. Okay, you'll also do your ASP reading report, and that one is fairly explanatory. Just the one confusing thing is that sometimes people have a hard time finding it. It's just right after the academic skill plan. Remember, if you go over here to the sidebar and you scroll down to your academic skill plan and then just scroll your page down and you'll get to the report page. So each of the academic skill plan reports is just right after the academic skill plan. So just a little help finding that there. We will also have during week 3 our second class meeting. Remember that it is not required to attend the class live. If you can make it, that is wonderful. I'm always happy to have you there, and I love hearing your insights and your thoughts. But it's not required. You can receive full credit if you watch the recording and fill out the questions. If you are able to attend live, you can get an extra 5 extra credit points for coming live. So that's all that we have going on this week. We have, again, just a quick review, you've got 2 required journals and 2 possible extra credit journals if you choose to do them. You have your quiz, you will report on your academic skill plan, and we will have the meeting report. Really quickly, I just want to go over one thing on the academic skill plan report. So when you report on your academic skill plan, you will give yourself a score with how you did on applying yourself during the week to your goal. So if you feel like you did really well, you worked on it every day, you're going to give yourself a 10. If you feel like you didn't do very well, you're going to give yourself a 1. I just want to clarify that the score that you give yourself really has no bearing on the score you get on the assignment. I mean, unless you literally tell me I didn't do this assignment at all this week, in which case, obviously, that's going to affect your score. But if you say, I really struggled with this goal, it didn't work. Say, I didn't like this goal, it just didn't really, it didn't click for me. If you say that, if you say, well, I tried to apply the strategy, but I didn't like the strategy, I really struggled with it, and you give me an honest analysis of why your goal didn't work out, then you're still going to get full points on this. Because I want you to be able to honestly analyze what went wrong. If it was a matter of I just didn't do it, that's different. But if it's a matter of, okay, well, I found that this strategy didn't really work for me, or I found that I really struggled with focus, like I had tried to apply it, but it didn't work out. So I want you to rate yourself honestly on how you did, of what, did it work for you or did it not work for you? Because it's only by evaluating yourself honestly that you can really start to determine what works for you and what doesn't. So if you went through and you found that, okay, this reading strategy did not work, I got distracted and I could not focus, then just report that honestly, and that's not going to be determinative of what your score is for the assignment. Okay, so that's all we had for week 3. Please let me know if you have any questions. I'm always available to answer emails, and I'm always happy to help. So just let me know if there's anything I can do to serve you better in the course. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.